Good morning, horse racing enthusiasts. This is John, and welcome to the channel. Today is Friday, the 17th of May, and today's Black-Eyed Susan Day. What I wanted to do today is talk a little bit about the Black-Eyed Susan, talk a little bit about potential wagers for that race, but also on the heels of our successful wager in the Oaks Derby double. I'd like to go with Black-Eyed Susan Preakness double as well, which will clue in on what I entail to do on that. But okay, so the Black-Eyed Susan today. So this, as you know, it's a mile and 1/8 for the 3-year-old fillies. This is basically on the heels of the Oaks. This is a similar race as the Oaks. And this is kind of a fun race today. Oh my gosh, the card today was just, I had some cards you can just go through and it's fine. The card today for Pimlico was just very difficult for me for one reason or another. I just didn't have I don't know the focus or what, but it just took a lot of work. And I think one of the things was the rain, the expected rain. Now we're going to have rain tomorrow. It looks like today might be a little bit clear, so that helped. Although when I started to handicap, I was like, these turf races, there's a good chance they'll be off. They were off yesterday, and what does that do? What does that do to your handicapping? Well, for me, I'll handicap it on turf, and then I'll do a dirt turf. So do dirt, and so it basically doubles the sort of the work that you do associated with this. And just because a horse runs well on the turf doesn't mean that same horse is going to win on the dirt, right? So anyhow, I felt like the card was very difficult for me to sort of handicap, and there's a couple of good races. And what I'll do, as I've done in the past, is I will put my picks and long shot bets in the comment section. So hopefully that works out for everybody. So now the Black-Eyed Susan, 1/8 on the dirt. Looks like the track will be fast. Doesn't look like there'll be. I'm hoping there'll be a little wetness to it, a little dampness to the turf. To the dirt. But it should be fast at any rate. So the way I went with this is kind of intriguing. But I think one of the best horse out there, I think, is the 5 Gun Song. Kind of a speed horse, likes to get out front. When he has won, it's usually been. When he's won, it's usually been breaks good, tactical speed, stays 1 length or 2 lengths off the lead, first, second, or third, and then kind of closes the gap to win. So I think that's an interesting strategy. But here's the thing: I see to his outside there were a couple other horses. You have the 7 Corpasso. You also have Recharge, the 8, who both have speed, and looks like they're going to contend for the lead. Particularly the 8, likes to win on the lead. The 7 has a similar strategy where it goes 2 lengths off, and then closes. So all that is to say is that it looks like we're going to have what is an honest pace up front. And I suspect that the type of horse that we're looking for is someone who I don't think it's enough speed to like the dead drop closers, but I do think it's someone who's going to be a little more than 1 or 2 lengths off the lead at the break, and then we'll close down the stretch. So where are we going with this? And you'll have the favorite. The 5 will be Gun Song, and it'll take a lot of money. But I chose to go a different way. I chose to go with the 3, Lemon Muffin. And here's why. So Lemon Muffin ran in the Oaks and was off a step slow. So basically, with that size of field, 14 in the Oaks, didn't really have a chance. And it appears to me as if they kind of shut down. Does that mean I don't want to say completely gave up, but you'll notice like halfway through the race, they didn't do any better than 7 lengths at all. Halfway through, they were 7 lengths out. 3/4 of the way, they were 12, and then they finished 17 lengths off the lead. So to me, I read that as we have no chance. Let's not burn our horse right here. So then I go back and I look at what the pedigree looks like. Not the pedigree, but the running lines. and ran in February 24th, a mile and a 16th on the Honeybee at Oaklawn and won. Came back on March 30th, ran in the Fantasy Grade 2. Looks like it had a trouble race, didn't really get out, 10 horses, didn't really get out. And then what we look at in the slop, probably didn't like the slop on the Kentucky Derby, and was, as I mentioned earlier, was 17 lengths out. But I see a steady progression in this horse. If I throw out that last race, I see a steady progression. The trainer is D. Wayne Lucas. The sire is Collected. I don't know the dam. I likely should have researched a little bit, but Canadian Frontier. I've heard of it in the past, but I don't really have a good recall on it. And it looks like it's a good, decent distance Tomlinson. So I'm going to go with Lemon Muffin, kind of as what I call a close closer, and we'll see how that goes. So that's going to be my win bet. So what I like there was the 3, 5, 8, 7. So I mentioned the 7 and the 8, both are speed horses. The 5 has speed to use, and I expect that down the stretch we'll find Lemon Muffin past all these and close. Not from out of the zip code, but from about 3 or 4 lengths out at the turn to close. So I feel like that's a good bet right there. That's going to be a win bet. Maybe do a try or an exacta in some fashion. Watch the odds as we get closer. Like if a lot of people jump on this Lemon Muffin, I'm not really sure how much under 4 to 1 I want to take on that. So I may be looking for another one. Now, I mentioned earlier the Oaks Derby double, and then our win on that, which was great. And I had a little angle there that we went with Kenny McPeak, trainer, and that obviously a lot of racing is luck, a lot is looking at some of the training, and then with the information that's so vast coming into the Derby, you have a lot available to you. So with the Preakness and the Black Eyed Susan, not as much. There is some people like in the Preakness, people like what like the training and how how the horses are handling the ground. Mystic Dan seems to be aggressive out there. Now, one horse that they talk about is this Uncle Heavy, which I mentioned yesterday. Closing style, has won in the mud, a couple of graded stakes wins, both in the mud. This is all from memory. I might be wrong with both, but at least one was in the mud. And then, so Uncle Heavy, but I didn't think he had the speed figure to. Now, people are saying that on the track, he's at Pimlico, he's looking good. That may be changing my mind a little bit about it, but here's how I'm going to hedge a little bit as it relates to that. I'm going to do a Black Eyed Susan Preakness double that includes this one in this race in the Black Eyed Susan. And it's a horse that's on the improve. Every race, the speed figures have increased. Started in June of 23. This is the third after the layoff from July 23 until March of this year. And still improving after that layoff. That was kind of a sign. And then it ran in April, ran a 70. Looked like, improving still, and looks like it has a chance in this race. Again, the trainer is Robert Reed, so that's Butch Reed, same trainer as Uncle Heavy in the Preakness. So one of the doubles that I'm going to do is one with the Uncle Heavy, which I don't have that chart with me. I believe it's I believe Uncle Heavy is the 2 in the Preakness. So I'm going to do the one with the Black Eyed Susan, and not much, just like $5. One with the 2, and that's going to be my sort of trainer angle, and horses on the improve, horses for the condition. And we'll see how that goes. Now, if I'm doing another Black Eyed Susan Preakness double, I'm going to go with the 3, the horse that I like to win, and I'm going to go with the 8, which is Tuscan Gold. So that's really the angle right that's the angle that I like. That's the handicapping angle. The other angle is based on the heels of our selection on the for the Kentucky Derby double there. But that's like a fun angle, the first one. The second one is really the one I like. So good race card today. Like I said, very challenging. Usually that corresponds to money in the race, right? When I went through it, typically what I do when I handicap is I get my top 4 horses that I like for that race, that style. I'm always looking at the par value of the buyers and looking at how this horse matches up to that par. So again, the buyer par is the average rate, the average buyer speed figure for winners in that race over time. It's not always up there, but it's usually in the right-hand corner of your past performances. I look at that, and then I make my selection. Then I look at the races. Then I look at the pedigrees, jockeys. There's interesting moves on foot on the jockeys. One I find interesting. I'll just a brief digression here. Uncle Heavy, whom I mentioned, whom I was a little cold on. I was looking at the jock. It's Irad. How does Irad not have a mount that is in that the horse is live on? I don't know. So that, my spider senses go off as it relates to that. Is there something more to Uncle Heavy? And is that a way that we should go? And that's kind of a tip of what I'm thinking about, a little bit change tomorrow. But at any rate, I think that, it should be a good day of racing, a lot of money in the race. When I compare my 4 picks, I used to also take like Trackmaster and some other experts, right? And I look and I see, who they like. This is after the fact. My picks are cold right out, right after reading the past performances. Then I look at those and I say, well, do they have any outliers? Why are they? And then I go to that horse, that outlier that these other experts or Trackmaster might have, and I say, why is this horse a potential win candidate? Why is this horse in the money kind of candidate? And what I find is that helps me refine. I don't necessarily change my picks, but I usually make a comment section and I say, look at this, watch the money on this, or maybe do an exacta with this and my pick, that kind of thing. So should be a good day. We'll go ahead and like the videos. Yesterday's video is done fairly well, and I expect a little bit more today, but in the 500 range, that's great for us traditionally. And so you'll see in the comment section 2 things. Yesterday's video, in the comment section, I put the video to my racehorse, right? So, that's an old video that we have that you may find interesting regarding ownership structure and syndicates. The other thing is, if you like these videos, go ahead and like, subscribe, tell a friend, someone who may want a little extra insight into the racing for tomorrow. Let people know about it. And it looks like it's going to be a wet day. But usually in the wet, there's also money. So some of those, the multi-race exotic wagers, some oddballs are going to come up, some crooked numbers, as they say in baseball. So let's go ahead and look for those and handicap accordingly. And good luck at the races today. Remember, save your bankroll for tomorrow. And good luck, race fans. And look forward to speaking to you soon. Thanks. Bye.